Hello everyone, welcome to the web development course from Basic Uni, and here we will be learning about our Node.js. And as said in the previous video, we will be focusing more on the practical things here. Okay, we will be running the commands, we'll be running the programs over here. And I hope, as I had said in the previous video, you have downloaded this Visual Studio Code and you have downloaded this Node.js, and both of these things are working fine in your device. Okay, so if you have installed this particular Node.js, what you will be getting is here. If you search Node.js, you will be getting this Node.js terminal. If you open this here, you can write the Node.js code. Okay, here you can write the Node.js code and you can um, just test the code whatever you want over here. Okay, so for now I will just write it in this way: console.log. I will say yay. Okay, so let me close it, and if I press enter, you can see the a has been written over here, and again the same properties apply over here. Even if you are giving the string, the same thing should be followed. Okay, console.log, let me say it as hello world. Okay, hello world, and you can see if I do so, here this hello world has been obtained. Okay, so you can use this particular terminal in similar way, but here the issue is that, let's say, consider the event dot element dot get document dot get element by id. Okay, document.get element by id, you cannot get that one over here. Okay, why? Because this is the Node.js terminal and you can obtain it only in the browser. Okay, and here what I will do after this one is I will say let a is equal to 10. Okay, I did it so, and after that I will say console.log a. Okay, I will display this particular a over here, and here you can see the same value has been obtained over here. Let me do it in this way: let a is equal to 8, that is a is equal to 8. Now you can see identifier a has already been declared. Okay, you can see it can also show the errors, and it can be used in the similar way we use the particular IDE. But again, using this terminal is not recommended. You can use it only for the purpose of testing of your Node.js code. Okay, so yes, you can do coding over here also. So let me just come out of this one, and again, as I had said, document.get element by id, you cannot do that over there. And after installing these things, what I will do is let me show you this folder. Here in this my basic uni folder, I have kept this Node.js folder. Here you can see I have created a Node.js folder. What this folder contains, this is a empty folder. Okay, we will be writing all of the code over here, and I will be giving you this particular folder itself. And after this one, let's quickly go to our Visual Studio Code. As you already know what this Node.js is, and you already know what this Node.js and the brief overview of this particular Node.js. Okay, so here okay, here I will go to help and I will go to welcome. Yeah, now you can see this one has been opened over here, and here I will open that particular folder that is inside my this one basic uni. I have this Node.js folder. I will open this particular folder, and here I will not be creating a lot of folders over here as we did in our React course. Okay, so here we will be just having a simple files over here. See, learning this Node.js is very easier if you know this thing, that is our JavaScript. And here I will name this folder to index.js. Again, you can name it to anything. Just for the naming convention, I have named it to index.js. And after this one, let me write this console.log. I'm Node.js. Okay, let's say I want to run this one. To run it, what I will do is, here I have my run code symbol. If you don't have this one, you can just go here, not here, here in the extensions, and you can get the code runner over here. Okay, so that is basically a extension that is used to run the C++, all this JavaScript and all these programming languages. Okay, you can just get it from the extensions and you will get this symbol over here. So let me quickly run this one. Okay, now you can see if I run this one, we have obtained this I'm Node.js over here. This was similar to how we run our C++ and Java codes, right? And again, I have also got my this path over here. So this is obtaining the entire path by the default. I didn't enter this code. This command over here, it got when I clicked on this code runner symbol. And again, if you want to run this particular file from here, what you should do is just write node, give space, and write the name of this particular file and click enter. Okay, you can see I have got the output in the same way. Okay, you can follow this or you can follow this, it is completely up to you, but using this is recommended. Why? Because we'll be using a lot of files, and this is recommended to use. Basically, we will be running our index.js. We'll be having a lot of files in our node.js folder, and we will be running this node index.js. So using this way is recommended by me. And after this one, let's say I want to do something else over here, that is I will do over here, that is node minus minus version. Okay, now you can see if I gave this particular command, it gave me this version. Okay, I had installed this node.js very earlier, maybe in the first year of my engineering, so that is the reason I have this 14th version. But that's completely all right if you are using some latest version. Versions will not play any role while writing the code. Whatever we write and what output we get is completely same. So I just wanted to show you this particular command over here. And after this, as you have already encountered this one, that is npm, right? So what this particular npm is, I should have not run this. Yeah, what this particular NPM is, NPM basically stands for the Node Package Manager, right? So this manages all the packages related to our node. And also in the React also we use this particular NPM, and we also know what this NPM and NPX is. I will be not focusing on the things that I have already explained in the React.js course. And here what you can do is, you can here also know about the version of your this npm. So for that I will do it in this way. Oops, I did the typo error over here. um okay, minus minus version. Okay, here you can see my current version is the 6.14.15. That is the version. This way you can check the version of your node and npm, and again just making use of the commands you can update these versions. And um, after this one I will show you one more thing. Let's say node init. Okay, we had something like our package.json in our React course, right? So let me show you what this node init is. Node init basically initializes your this node.js for this particular folder. Okay, so let me see what's the issue. So actually that is not node init, I should have written npm init. Okay, this will initialize your node project. Here you can see I have this one. They are giving me some options. I shall have to specify the package name. I will just give it to my name. I'll just keep it as my name, and name can no longer contain. Okay, so that has been changed. I will keep it to Arfan Sabah. And after they're using the version 1.0.0. Okay, you can use it. And the description I want to give is Here I will be writing in the quotes, this is our Node.js course. Okay, so entry point is index.js. Yes, it is the entry point. And test command, I don't want to focus on that one. Git repository, I don't want to add it right now. And keywords, no, I don't want to add. And again, I will just specify the name of the author over here. License ISC, I have nothing to do with that one. And yeah, this one has been initialized. Our package.json, here you can see that our package.json has been initialized, that is our project has been initialized, and now it is saying is this okay, it is saying me that just look into this, is this confirm for you, is this confirm for you? Okay, so for that one I will write s over here. And again, here for the description I would have not written the quotes. Okay, even without writing the quotes will be getting the same thing over there if we are using the string. Here s I want to initialize it. Okay, so that one has been initialized. Here you can go, you can see our package.json have been created with these values. Okay, this object, here you can see this has been created. And also here we have a debug option. Okay, I will be not focusing on the debug for now. I don't want to focus on that one. Let's just focus on what we are doing right now. And here you can see this has been created. Thus basically specifies the name, version, description, and all. And after this one, let's focus on the other things that we can build into this particular project. Okay, so let's say here this contains this one, right? Let's say you want to add a dependency into this particular project you are building. What exactly is a dependency? If you have gone through the videos you will know this dependency, but I have not explained the dependencies and node related things in the previous videos. But here we will be learning everything from the point. Okay, so what this particular dependency is, it see, this dependency basically refers to the dependencies that are necessary for the development and testing purpose. Okay, so dependency is nothing but something like the stuff that I want to run this particular project. Okay, let's say I want our express. Okay, what the express is, we'll be learning that one, so don't focus on that stuff. Here I will use npm I okay, npm install. You have seen me using the npm install in the previous videos, or you might have not seen me doing this. Because why? Because we had not brought any repository or any code from the github, right? We had built the code from the scratch, so we didn't use it. But here let me just show you what this npm install is. npm install is nothing but, you can just give it as npm I rather than npm install. Okay, here you can see when I give it, when I gave it here, the package log.json has created. Okay, so this basically this package log json basically has all the dependency values. Okay, in the context of a node.js project or any software development project, this dev dependency typically refer to the dependencies that are necessary for development and testing purposes, but these are not required for the production runtime of the application. Okay, so for example, tools like testing libraries, build systems, linters, and or other utilities that aid in development and testing are often listed in this dev dependency. Okay, so these dependencies are crucial during the development phase, but actually these are not required when we deploy our application. Okay, deploy our application, we will be getting a build code, right? We have seen that we have also deployed our real estate project. We have seen that what deployment is, what, how can we build our code, all these things. So for that reason, for the sake of deployment, we actually don't need these dependencies, but here we need it while developing this project. Okay, so that is what our this one means. Here you can see name and version has been specified. But now I want to add a particular dependency over here. Let me say I want to npm I. You can use npm install or you can use npm I. Both are perfectly fine. So as a shorthand, I will just use the npm I. Let's say you want to install this Express. Okay, let me just do it in this way. So yeah, debugger, why it is attached? I don't want this debugger. Yeah, here you can see our express has been installed. Okay, so now in our package log dot json, you can see earlier I didn't had this much of code, right? I didn't actually had this much of code. I only had the name, probably the version, and how much package dot log we have. I only had this three lines of code, but now it has added from this to this much of code. That is very a huge code. Okay, only for the Express it has been added. Now why it has been added means, while developing this project, while coding into this project, we actually need these dependencies to be shown in the package log json. Okay, so for that reason we have these things. And again, you can install anything that you want, and you can see how these changes can appear over here. Okay, and again we have this npm install. Let me show you one more thing. And again, here you can use the npm I itself. Here in Express minus minus save in the version below our 5. I think npm version below 5 we had this one, that is we had to write this save command over there. But now this is deprecated, not completely deprecated, you can still use it. But there is actually no use of using that particular thing. I will go to this one. Okay, let's ignore it for now. And you can see, as I had run our npm install, our node modules has also been added. Our node modules is actually a very huge file. This contains all the libraries and all the data that we have installed that are required to run our this particular project. And again, when we push our code to the GitHub, we actually don't add this node modules. Why means, you can see how many files are there over here. We have not built anything into this project, but yet we have so much of files over here. Just imagine if I keep on adding the stuff into this project, how many files will be built. I have added only Express, and I have this much. And inside of this Express also we have this package.json readme md and all this, even this index.js, right? So having this much of data, pushing this much of data to the Git repository is not a good idea. Rather, what you can just do is, you can ignore this. We will be writing this one in our git ignore file that you had seen. And again, when someone downloads the project from the Git repository, he will not have this node modules, right? So in that case, the user doesn't get any error. Actually, the user will not be able to run the project. Why means, all the libraries and the dependency data related to the particular project will be inside this node modules, right? So for that reason, we should have to run our command, that is npm install. By this command we will be getting all the data. Okay, all the data, not we, basically our code editor will be getting all the data, and the editor can run our application. And again, in the package log.json, here we will be having the versions. Okay, here we will be having we will be specifying the version for each of the everything that we have added into this project. By that, what happens is, let's say I had this Express, right? I have this um, Express. Let's consider this Express as a dependency. This Express is basically a dependency, and in certain cases, in most of the cases, this Express can have new dependencies inside this, that is nested dependencies, and that particular dependencies can again have dependencies inside of that. Okay, so in that case, let's say you have built the project 1 year ago, and now you want to add a new dependency that is inside of the express.js. So in that case, which version dependency will this editor will install, which version it should install, so that version details will be mentioned here in the package log json. So by that, what happens is the conflicts between the versions will not happen. Okay, so this was a basic overview of the node modules, package json and log json. So these are the things that you definitely know as a developer. And after this one, let me tell you about the nodemon. Okay, what this nodemon is, nodemon is nothing but you will understand it very deeply when you execute or when you build the complex projects. Let's say, let me just tell you in this way, when we had built our react project, if I just control s over here, if I just do control s over here, we were able to see um, our page, right? Our changes would have been added to the page, but here that's not the issue. You should once you make changes over here, again you should run this node space index.js. You made changes here, you can see. Let me show you. Let's go to our index.js. Let me clear this one. Waiting for the debugger connect. Yeah, why did this got connected? Okay, let's ignore this one for now. um, Debug terminal, let me delete it. Okay, let's come back to what we had over here. So using our nodemon, you don't have to run the code again and again. You can see if I do index.js over here, you see I'm node.js over here, but again let me make it, I'm, let's say I made it, I'm new node.js. Okay, so if I make it over here and if I save it, you can see I'm not able to see that one over here. Again, I should have to go over here. I can again start this one. You can see now you are able to see this one. To avoid this, we have this node mon. Okay, node mon index.js, and we'll be getting the errors because we have, yeah, actually I have already installed this node mon. That's why I'm not seeing any errors. I will just show you how you can install this node mon. I already have that in the device. That's why I'm not seeing the errors since I started using the nodemon. Here you can see, using this npm I nodemon, you can start, you can install the nodemon, and as soon as you do so, here um, you can see in the dependencies express was added in the package.json, and now this nodemon with this particular version has been added. Okay, and again here you can see in the package.log.json also you can see the nodemon entire detail regarding the nodemon, what version is, all these things. Okay, so you have understood what the difference between package.json and package log.json, and you have also seen what this nodemon is. So let me start my this server. Let's call this as a our development server. This index.js is our small development server that we have built now, and here I will start it using the nodemon index.js, and here you can see our development server has been started, and I'm new node.js can be seen over here. I will make it to let me make it to a newest, and here I will make it to newest newest, and all the things I have to do is I don't have to end this one, and I don't have to do node index.js. Rather, I will just save this one, just control s. Okay, not even going there and saving, just control s. Here I'm able to see this, I'm node js over here. And again, if I make new over here, let me write anything over here, and you can see that stuff has been added over here. That is, you can see even the previous data is available over there. So this is something that we had to learn with respect to our package.json and our managing with our these commands. Okay, so understanding these commands, why we should use these commands, is very important. And again, for this nodemon also you can use this one. That is, let me go to other terminal and show you why. Because I don't want to end this particular nodemon server that is running over there. Here you can install the npm using this one also, npm I nodemon minus minus save. Okay, both of these things are completely all right. Even if you don't use this save, that is all right. So since that is all right, we will just ignore it. And just in the way we have installed our these dependencies, we can also uninstall our these dependencies. I will go over here because here we are able to see our dependencies properly, right? So let me do npm uninstall. What I want to uninstall is, let's say I want to uninstall my express. Okay, so if I do so, you can see this code has been overwritten, right? This code has the right property from this terminal, and uh, you can see that express have been removed from here. Okay, so you can use this in the same way. Let's see if we can use the npm u over here by uninstalling our nodemon. So yeah, npm u is not available. We should use the npm uninstall nodemon. Okay, if I do so, you can see even this nodemon will be deleted, and you can see our dependency array is just empty array. We don't have any dependency over here. And again, inside my package.log package log.json, you can see that particular dependencies, the entire sort of code that we had has been deleted. So as we need our not express for now, I may not need our express, but I need this nodemon. We will be needing this nodemon so that we don't start our backend server again and again. Yeah, you can see that has been installed and that has been added over there. So let me just save this index.js. Yeah, and again, if I run it from here, here we have our this node mon server, right? Here we have our node mon server. But if I click on the run, a new command will be executed. Okay, a new command will be executed and it will come out of that particular terminal. So rather, that's the reason we usually don't prefer using this code runner over here. And again, you can modify this versions also over here. And in the same way, we used this particular code, this particular console.log, we can also make use of the variables. You have already learned these variables in the javascript course. So just as a refreshing stuff, I will be showing you few examples. Let a is equal to 10. Okay, I will do console.log. What I will do over here is, let me do 1 plus a. Okay, let's see what will be the output of this one. So here, let's go to our nodemon server. You can go anywhere, you can actually go anywhere. Here you can see 1 plus a has been added. And again, if I keep this in the codes and if I save this one, you can see 1 plus a has been obtained literally as it was earlier. And again, if I make it constant, if I make it constant and run, I'm able to obtain that one. Let me come out of this one. That is 1 plus a we had written, right? So if I save this, I'm able to get the same output here. And if I try to reassign this one, rather than reassigning, if I just make it to a is equal to 12, Okay, a is equal to 2, and let me save this one. We are getting some errors over here. Okay, here we are also able to see the error. You can see the error related to our a has been thrown. Okay, so I had built a particular website. I had built a particular website for a business. I don't want to say the name of the business. That is something like, see, here we will be using the two terminals. One side I will be initializing our this node.js, that is using our this nodemon, and in the other side I will be executing the codes for our MongoDB. MongoDB is the database that we can use. We will be learning that thing also. So using this initializations for the MongoDB over here, we could see the changes over here. Okay, so that is the interesting thing that also we will be learning in this particular course. Okay, so again, let me just comment out this unnecessary thing. Okay, so yeah, this was it in this particular video, and in the next video we will be focusing on how we can add our built-in libraries, and using our built-in libraries, what are the operations we can do. Okay, so we'll be focusing on that one. Be ready with your laptop IDs and all.